Hello YouTube. I'm going to make my 4-week postpartum update. I have Miss Natalie right here in my lap, so hopefully she'll be content. I will be officially 1 month postpartum on March the 7th, and today is March the 5th. So I thought I'd go ahead and record this now while I have time. Show you Natalie real quick. She's really sleepy. She just ate a little bit. Yeah. She's such a sweet girl. Hopefully she'll be content while I record this. So physically, I'm doing pretty good. I would say I feel about like 90% normal. As I mentioned before, I had a few stitches from the delivery, and those have been healing very well. I've been pleasantly surprised. It hasn't been that bad. So I feel almost normal. I went on my first walk with the family around the neighborhood, and I felt really good while I was walking. I didn't feel sore afterwards. I didn't really push myself that much, but I was a little worried about feeling sore afterwards, and I didn't. From time to time, I do have this like slight pinching feeling where my stitches are. It's just really random, so I'm not really sure what that's about. It typically is after I've been standing and stuff for a long time, so that's one thing. As far as breastfeeding goes, that's going pretty well. I don't know if I'm going to do an update of that by itself or not. We've still had some problems with latching. We've gotten help from a lactation consultant, and I still have a hard time a little bit with latching. So I have been feeding her exclusively from the breast and also pumping and giving her express milk, which is just really awesome to have the flexibility to be able to do that. Weight, I have lost another 4 pounds since my 2-week update. So I lost the weight that I gained in the pregnancy plus another 4 pounds. So I'm really very happy with that. I have not done anything for that to happen besides breastfeed. So I think it's just a combination of breastfeeding and kind of the reduced swelling. Because that week after she was born, I had really intense swelling. And now that's all gone. So that's good. Trying to think of anything else physically. Nothing that I can really think of. Yeah, not too much. So, on to emotions, hormones, all that jazz. I have had some pretty intense emotional feelings. A little bit of a roller coaster. I've been like that since she was born. And not very much of like postpartum depression, baby blues, not really that kind of thing. It's more so that everything I feel, I just feel it. It's just intense. Whether it's good or bad, it's intense. So when I'm looking at her and feeling like just so grateful for her and loving it, loving having a newborn, all of that, it's just really intense. And then when I feel, as I've mentioned before, a little bit of mom guilt, about not being able to give my son as much attention as I could before when he was an only child. Whenever I feel that way, I just feel it, like I want to cry. So I guess I have had a little bit of baby blues in that way. I do miss being pregnant, just a little bit. I have to remind myself of how uncomfortable I was at the very end. But she is such a good baby. She's so sweet. She's just a little love. I can't believe she's mine. I just love her so much. Anyway, okay, so the crazy thing is after my son was born, I remember thinking, I never want to do that again. Like, I need one kid and one kid only. And then, of course, as a little bit of time passed, I didn't feel so much that way. I was more open to the idea of having more children in the future. With Miss Natalie, by the time she was 2 weeks old, so 2 weeks ago, I have had like baby fever, which I think is completely crazy because I will be, in the bathroom, changing breast pads, all kinds of pads, taking care of my postpartum body, and then being up at night with her, taking care of a newborn, and I have baby fever. I don't get that. It's like I know that I'm crazy, but I still feel this way. So part of it, I think, is that for so long, since I had just had one child for 7 years, I was kind of fearful of taking the plunge to have more than one child. Sorry, I'm moving around so much. I'm trying to keep her content. And then now that she's here and I have 2 children and I can kind of feel what that feels like, I'm like, oh, okay, it's not so bad. Like, it's really all the fears that I had really aren't so bad. Granted, she's 4 weeks old, so there's a lot to come, I'm sure. But I'll find myself sitting, holding her, looking at her, and just thinking like, oh, I just can't wait to have another one. And, you know, I have my 6-week checkup with my OB in 2 weeks from now, and I have to decide what kind of birth control we're going to use. And so I'm considering either getting the like non-hormonal IUD, I believe it's called the Paragard, or using a birth control pill, you know, that's safe for breastfeeding. And even when I'm thinking about birth control, I'm thinking, okay, you know, maybe I shouldn't do this one because of this, and what about trying to conceive, and when are we going to try to conceive again? And that's probably not crazy to some people, but for me, I've always really just wanted 2 kids. I have considered adoption, either like a local adoption, or my husband is from Jamaica, and that's where all of his family lives, and so we've talked about adopting from there if finances, basically, if we're doing well financially, I would love to adopt, and I would kind of have to push it with my husband, but I think he would go for it. So that's the only way we've ever thought of having 3 children. So it's just really bizarre to me that I'm feeling all these intense emotions about having another one. So I don't know if it's just that I'm missing like the pregnancy and everything that came with it, or if it's really that I know I want to have a third sometime in the future. As far as spacing goes, I have no idea. I've never been the kind of person who wanted to have kids super close together, like 2 in diapers at the same time. I've never really had that desire, but I do see the advantages to that. So if we did have a third, it would probably be a while. But I'm just completely surprised, I guess, that I have all these desires to have another baby, and like I said, I'll find myself like almost daydreaming about it. So maybe it's just hormones. I don't know. It's crazy. Complete opposite of what I felt like after I had my son. Emotionally, that's pretty much the gist of it. Trying to think of anything else. I feel really happy. I feel really good. Yeah, I just feel happy. So, I'm super sleep deprived. I already said that probably. So I'm kind of a scatterbrain anyway when I make these videos, but now that I'm like getting zero sleep, not zero sleep, I'm so dramatic, but you know, I don't sleep for more than 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours at a time. So that's a little tough, but to be expected, so yeah. Oh, you have to see her. She just looks so cute. She just looks so cute all the time. Yeah. Sam is a sweet girl. Oh. She does that kind of startle reflex thing if she's not swaddled. She's not a huge fan of being swaddled. So anyway, okay, that's all I can think of to say. I don't know what else to say. So I hope you guys are all doing well. If you have any questions, let me know, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.